Hello and welcome to Jungle 3.0, a new video series I'm starting where I'll be making jungle tunes in 30 minutes and I'll be explaining what I'm doing as I go along. Okay, for the first tune I have chosen 165 BPM for our tempo and I already chose a break for us to start with to save a bit of time, and I think without further explanation let's start the timer. There we go, and let's open the break up in a SliceX. Okay, the first thing I usually do is run the play to end script, which does a couple of things. It helps retain the original groove of the break. All those micro timings of old funk drummers are highly important for that lovely organic groove. And secondly, it highly speeds up the break creation process. You can work with individual slices, and in fact I recommend starting by doing that, and that'll help you get a feel for what sort of micro timings you'll have to create that organic feel for the break. Okay, well, we'll just assign a mixer channel for our break and we'll lay out a basic break pattern to start with. I'm not very happy with this pattern, so let's start a new one. There we go. It's simpler, but it just works much better. Alright, let's extend a bit, add a bit of variation for the second repetition. Alright, excellent. We have a basic break pattern going, and what we'll do is we'll add a volume envelope for the break, which adds a nice bit of sort of punch for the break. So let's listen to that. Excellent, that's perfect. Now let's add a few effects. The fruity fast disc is excellent general purpose distortion. It's highly underrated, I feel. So let's add that. There we go, perfect. And let's add a limiter, which despite its name actually also works as a compressor. So we just want, I'm looking for this sort of mid-90s super compressed sound, metalheads type. So there There we go, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add a reverb before the compressor to create this interesting effect. We'll see how it works. Let's use the Fruity Convolver. It's a fantastic impulse reverb unit. I really love it. The impulses here come with the new beta 3 of FL12. I highly recommend trying it out. Okay, let's find some crazy impulse response for us. Let's first preview with the wet signal. Yeah, that's great. Let's try that. Add the dry back in. There's actually this slight phasing effect there, but I don't mind. I think it's nice. Let's go with that. Okay, cool. And for a bit of extra punchiness, let's add an equalizer. And with a high Q, there we go, and find the sweet spot. Okay, there's a bit of bassy wobbling resulting from the impulse response, so let's just get rid of that. Okay, step editing, nope, thank you. There we go. Okay, that's much better. All right, now, as you can see, the cutoff point is around 80 hertz, and that's fine. We don't have to have a super bassy kick for the for the break, because we'll have the sub bass going and eating these frequencies up, so those will play well together this way. Okay, let's put that on the playlist, and let's pick a bass sample for us. And FL Studio comes with a nice selection of samples. We'll use a real classic 808 kick, which, despite its name, is not just a kick, it's also a lovely bass tone. We'll make sure the cut self is on, because you don't want those bass notes to overlap with each other. And yeah, let's just lay out a bass line for ourselves. Now, often a good way to start with the bass line is have the bass hits to align with the kick hits of the break itself. That way you have a nice sort of punchy bass line, and it aligns rhythmically with the break. Cool, and for the very end here, I think we'll have a nice sort of hard bass. We'll get that from Harmar, which is an absolutely fantastic synth. I'm not even using half of its power. In fact, I think I'm using a fraction, because we'll be doing a real basic neuro bass sound. I'll be using both of the layers here, A and B, and for the B layer, we'll have the bass note 1 octave higher. There we go. And let's add unison for both. A bit of vibrato for the second higher note. And then let's bring the low pass filters down on both quite a lot. There we go. And add a bit of distortion. Classic is fine. And let's see how that sounds like. Oh yeah, alright. Let's assign that for channel 8 there. And okay, it's not quite what I'm looking for actually, so we'll tweak the sound a bit, but let's just lay a note down and loop over it. That's how I like to tweak my sounds. Okay, cool. It's first of all way too stereo for that nice bassy thing. So for the A part, which is the lower oscillator, we'll just turn the pan all the way down, so no stereo spread. Let's add a bit more pitch difference for the unison oscillators. Same for both here. Okay. Okay, that's much better. And I think I'll might even add a flanger for this bass. It's really tricky to add the flanger. You've got to make sure you don't have the bass notes or the bass frequencies eaten up by the flanging effect. So it's a bit of a trial and error thing, but I like it. All right, that's fine. And then let's add a fast dist even after this. Okay, excellent. And let's experiment with a bit of resonance on the second oscillator. I think we'll use the leaky low pass. Gotta love these names. It lets a bit of frequencies through even after the cutoff point. So let's try that. That's fine. And just for an added effect, let's add an impulse reverb on this one as well. We'll pick some crazy thing here. Maybe not the cathedrals, might be a bit much. The small rooms might have something nice. Family room sounds good for a neuro bass, doesn't it? Okay, that sounds good. So let's add all the dry in. Okay, that's fine for now. Let's just go with that and continue with our tune. Soon we'll be adding some atmospherics in. We don't want all sort of dark and sub-bassy, we want some atmospheric, so we'll add some pad sounds as well. Let's see what we have for now. I don't like the timing for the neuro bass. Let's delay it a bit. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, I like that more. Excellent. I might change the note for that, but we'll find out. Turn the 808 kick up a bit. Okay, cool. We might change the bass line after we add some melodies here or a pad sound. So I'll use one of the pads in the Jungle Break Collection pack. It's in the bonus section.
'Let's find something nice.
Okay, cool. We might change the bass line after we add some melodies here or a pad sound. So I'll use one of the pads in the Jungle Break Collection pack. It's in the bonus section. Let's find something nice. 'Let's find something nice. 'Let's find something nice. Yeah, the pharmacy pad will work just fine for us. So let's start laying down a pad melody. Alright, that's fine. And now that I laid the pads down, I got some more ideas for the bass. First of all, let's change the note of the first neuro bass. There we go, that's much better. Then for the second bass line, we'll be adding a neuro here. And maybe we'll add another bass sound for this one actually. And so with FL Studio, what's nice is you can just clone your generators freely. Really doesn't take much more CPU unless you're playing both of them at the same time. So this is a great way to add some small adjustments for your sounds. That's what I like to do anyway. And I think for this bass sound, we'll bring the cutoff frequencies down just a bit, and maybe bring the cutoff frequency of the lower oscillator up a bit. So let's see what that sounds like. All right, that works very well for me. And let's see here what we can do. That might work. Let's see it or hear it in context. It works kinda, but I want something a bit different. There we go. And for added effect, let's have this routed to a different channel, and let's add a different space for this one, and that'll give a nice contrast between the two different bass sounds. Let's pick something from the small rooms anyway. Boys' bathrooms, no. Garage might work. Listen to that. Yeah, that's nice. Let's try that. Great. Alright, we actually have some time to add break variations. This is great. So let's just start kind of varying this break pattern. You don't want to maybe overdo the variations, otherwise you'll end up with no cohesive feel for the break. But what I like to do is just clone the original pattern and start tweaking that a bit. Okay. Now, let's see here. Great. Okay, let's try that. Okay, great. And now let's line the bass hits with the newly created break. Again with the kick drums. Now, of course, this is not something you always want to do, but it's just something that often works. So, experiment. What I'm going to do is, with that small break in the break, I'll add a quiet note to cut off the previous bass bass note, so that there will be a silent moment in the break and the bass line. There we go, and it can come back in here. There we go, that works, I think. Excellent. There's a bit of a gap here that I want to get rid of. We could try a portamento here as well. Slide down to the second note. Might work. Actually, let's give it a go. See how this sounds like. And then with the slide it would be, oops, come back here. It's quite a quick slide. Let's try a bit of a longer one. Yeah, that actually works. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we have about 7 minutes, a bit less. So let's add a few effects. We'll pick those from the Jungle Break collection as well. Let's see what we got here. I think the radar is something that might work. Yeah, that's nice. Let's pick that. And we'll sync it up with the break a bit here, or the tempo rather. We'll just enable stretch there, and a nice trick is to just look at the waveform and see where the hits go and make sure they align with the grid. And there you go, you got manual tempo syncing. Alt for no snap, and there we go. That should be roughly right, might not be. There we go, that's all right. Now we'll just choose where we actually want those to hit. Let's have some here, and let's have some here, and maybe there. See how that works. I'm just doing random things really, and they might sound good or they may not. Alright, that works for me, and we'll assign that to a mixer channel and make sure it doesn't have any sort of low frequencies that are going to interfere with our bass sounds, our break and our bass line. And actually, now that I mentioned that, we'll make sure the pad sound is also routed through this, so that it also gets the bass notes or bass frequencies cut off. Gives more space for the bass itself, which is very good for sort of this clear sound. Okay. Okay, great. Now let's add a few effects from the samples that come with FL Studio. I'll add reverb to it, whatever I'm going to pick. It's going to have a ton of reverb, so let's find something nice and sort of short maybe. That's great. Let's pick that and pitch it down. It's not so great actually. Let's pick something else. Let's see what that sounds like when it's pitched down. It sounds great. Let's add a flanger and some reverb to it and let's see what it sounds like then. Nice amount of feedback. There we go. Lovely. And let's just use Reverb 2, which is also a fantastic plugin. Highly recommend learning this because it's just capable of so much. You can get spring reverby type reverbs out of it, and you can get really long ambient reverbs as well. Okay, let's try that. Let's make sure this doesn't have high frequencies that are going to destroy our ears. Still a bit harsh on the ears. Great, and let's see if we can sync it up with the tempo a bit better. There we go, that's good enough for us. It's still a bit too fast, so let's pitch it down a bit more. Great, that's fine, and let's plunk this down here. We even have a minute left and 30 seconds. Now, we could add some more, but there's not enough time, so I think I'll leave it at that. And as you can hear, it's not an actual full tune, but it's a good base to start building from. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Any questions you have or suggestions, you can either send it to my email address that is showing on the screen right now, or you can drop a comment on YouTube or Vimeo or wherever you are watching this right now. Until next time.